Hello, and thank you for visiting Graphene Business Law. If you're a business owner that experiences upticks in the demand for labor with your business during the holidays, and you're curious about how to hire the right kind of help for the holidays and make sure that you're protected and that you're picking the right employees, and even as to what benefits hiring seasonal workers can bring to your business, then continue watching this video because we're going to be discussing all of those things here. My name is Pamela Matani. I'm a business owner myself, of course, including I own this law firm, and I'm the principal lawyer and founder of Graphene Business Law, a virtual law firm that can assist you from anywhere within the jurisdiction of Ontario, Canada. We regularly post content relevant to business owners on this channel, so feel free to go ahead and like and subscribe this video. Now, we're talking about seasonal employees, and one thing to get started with right off the bat is what we mean by that. Of course, right now I'm posting this video, it's December, so the holiday season is among us in terms of winter holidays, Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all the winter festivities. But of course, there are other times that might bring business upticks in terms of need for labor and the attention of customers to your business that classify as seasonal, right? That might mean the obvious other alternative of summer, but also depending on the kind of business you're in, if you're a chocolatier or a flower shop, maybe that season for you is around Valentine's Day. If you're a scary costume maker, then that season for you is going to be Halloween. So all that to say that when we're talking about seasonal employees, of course, it's not just hiring them in December and July that we're talking about. Your business seasons might look different than somebody else's, and you might have this need at another time of year than your neighbor in the brick and mortar store next door. So with that out of the way, I think it's really important to start this video from a business lens and spend a few minutes on why we would want to hire seasonal workers to begin with. As a business owner myself, I know that when we're talking about hiring seasonal help, although I'll say that law is something people need help with year-round, but from other businesses and other ventures I've been a part of, I know that one of the first thoughts that might come to mind with hiring seasonal help, honestly, might not be a good one. And that's the thought of, who wants to train? Like, who wants to train somebody for weeks and weeks just to have them work for you for a month or two? That's a lot of work. That's valuable time. And if you're a small business owner, you know that every hour of time you have can be spent towards something that will either grow and expand your dream, or one of the more, logistics or admin type work, the less sexy style work that you might not be, super eager to sign on for. However, did you know that there's actually serious benefits to hiring seasonal workers? And I'm not talking about, benefits to having them on the books or legal benefits or things like that. Again, I'm starting this just as a business conversation. What are some of these benefits? One of them is that these seasonal hires, which are typically brought on for a short period of time, can actually become valuable talent pools for you for down the road when you need to replace full-time permanent staff, or even somebody you hire right now. You might find that they're so good and they're so valuable to your business that you want to keep them on all year long. And you might not even have known about this person and the value they bring to your business if you hadn't, put up that seasonal help wanted sign. So it can be a good opportunity to tap into talent pools that you might not otherwise have access to. And it can be a good opportunity, honestly, to find long-term talent, even though this is even though this is a short-term kind of proposition. Of course, with the season, whatever undertaking your business is in for that season, Christmas doesn't last forever, 4th of July doesn't last forever, so there's always upswings. Now, another benefit is it brings a fresh set of eyes to your business to hire seasonal staff. And this can be good, this can be good in terms of the attitude you're bringing to your business, fresh attitudes, and also new perspectives about your business that these seasonal employees are bringing. And these new perspectives could be really valuable in helping you understand more about your business, in learning things about your business that you might not have known, in identifying new opportunities, new target markets. For example, if you thought, if you're a hair salon that thought your best customer base was, let's say 65 plus, men and women 65 plus, but then you hire a bunch of teenagers as seasonal workers, and all of a sudden you find out they're really into what you're offering, into what you're doing, into your styles. And all of a sudden you have access to this whole new market you might never even have thought of had you not brought this, teenage 18, 19-year-old employee into your business to help out with, a stronger workload over, like we said, Christmas, for example, the holidays. Everybody wants, their hair done up. Another benefit to hiring seasonal workers, actually, and I find that this is a good segue for the legal bit of the conversation, the legal information bit of this conversation, is that it's actually, it can be quite a clear-cut way to hire. And what I mean by that is that when we're hiring full-time permanent employees, there's the termination clauses and all of that, which allows for, if somebody's not doing their best, now you have to wonder, oh my God, is it actually worth firing? What do I do? What kind of cause do I give? Do I not give any cause? But with seasonal employees, the expectations can be so clear cut that if you're hiring somebody December 1st, they're out of there January 15th. And there's no hard feelings, and there's no anxiety about when do I have the talk with them, the firing talk, when do I have the it's not you, it's me talk. You can just, it's been great having you. I know your last day is coming up in a few days. Thank you so much for your help. And, carry that conversation forward however you please. But again, with that conversation, there's a lot of clarity there, because their last date before they start. They know their last date before they start. And it can make for an even better working relationship, because the help they give is, so unequivocally sincere. Like, they know they're going to leave soon. So they're not worrying about, am I doing good enough? Are you going to fire me, this and that? And without that pressure, and without that anxiety, and without that ambiguity about when is it my time, you can maybe foster a better working relationship with your seasonal employees, because everybody knows what's going on. Now, bringing it to the legal realm of the conversation. And of course, at Graphene Business Law, we, our logo is all business all the time. Our slogan, I should say, is all business all the time. So if you are working with these, employment contracts, new employees, part-time, full-time, seasonal, whatever the case may be, of course, that's something we're here to help you with. But when it comes to the rights of seasonal workers, as a business owner yourself, I'm not sure what, what you're thinking coming into, watching this video, for example, but the rights of seasonal workers are for the most part the same rights. And again, we're talking, Ontario, Canada here, are mostly the same rights under the Employment Standards Act. There's no major difference in terms of the day-to-days. And what I mean by that, the seasonal workers, and I have some notes here, are still entitled, to the same rights regarding minimum wage, to the same rights regarding hours of work and rest and eating periods and vacation pay and overtime pay. There's still those same entitlements there. So that should be a good thing for you in terms of symmetry across employees. And it should also be a good thing in the sense that, that nervousness about, that apprehension about hiring a seasonal worker for the first time, and it's so hard, and the training and this and that, the training piece is still there. But when it comes to, the legalities and the expectations and the working relationship, it's not that different from any other employee you might have. Of course, circumstances may vary, in that everybody's an individual. Different employees have different individual needs, or they might, if you're hiring somebody with, certain special needs or whatever the case may be. But as an example, but we're talking here about when you open that Employment Standards Act and it has, the seasonal worker bit and the non-seasonal worker bit. It's not that these are two completely different beasts, okay? There are some differences, like I mentioned. For example, employers, that being you as a business owner, you don't have to provide the same entitlements to seasonal workers regarding benefits, regarding RSP contributions and some other details like that, that you can see and you can understand why they would be more better suited for somebody that's with you for longer anyways, right? So RSP contributions for a seasonal worker for 6 weeks, that makes sense as well why that might not be there. Now, speaking of contracts we're putting in place with seasonal workers, if it's not obvious, yes, you should have a contract. You should have employment contracts for each and every single one of your employees. And if you don't, I would, sit there after you watch this video and think, why is this the best idea that I not have a contract for this person? I think that'd be a hard one to answer. So speaking of the contracts you should have with seasonal workers, one thing you can do to simplify your life even further is something called a fixed term contract. And this ties back to what I was saying in terms of, that anxiety bit about, am I doing a good job? When's my last day? When am I on the chopping block? Those anxieties don't exist with seasonal workers, or you're able to take care of them if you do something like a fixed term contract, okay? So for example, seasonal worker contracts, by the way, should of course include the length of work, the length of employment, and compensation, how much you're paying them. Those are basics for contracts, for employment contracts, the number of shifts they're working or they can be expected to work, and also the idea that it's not they might not be guaranteed work, right? So if you're hiring them in anticipation of a hot and heavy season, but unfortunately that might not come for you this year, you don't have to hire them for a certain amount of hours if you have that conversation and if it's legally adherent, of course, if it's legally compliant with Employment Standards Acts. And that's a good thing to put in a contract with a seasonal employee, because they're hired specifically for that upswing in business, and if the upswing goes away, well, then you guaranteeing them work kind of defies the purpose. Now, another point, again, that I mentioned with the contract, that fixed part of it, it can be a really good idea to include, the length of employment with an employee. There's no need to shy around that. I understand that not all business owners, of course, are going to be, lawyers or accountants or, persons well-versed with numbers and legalities and things like that. But if you're somebody that this is new to you and you're thinking, like, it looks so bad to have their last day of work be on the piece of paper as they're signing on for the first day of work, actually, it doesn't, because that's you providing clarity, and clarity is always a really good thing. So I'll leave the video there in terms of just that reminder for fixed term contracts for seasonal employees. Now, of course, if this is something you're looking to do, again, in this holiday season, meaning the winter specifically, or whatever your holiday season is, Valentine, 4th of July, Canada Day, Halloween, whatever the case is for you, of course, that's something we can help with here at Graphene, putting good contracts in place as regards you as a business and business owner and your employees. It's always a good idea to have a lawyer look those agreements over before they're signed by both parties. And it truly is one of those scenarios where an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of the cure. And we're here to help you prevent all the icky stuff, of course, as best as you and I can, and be there for you and help you grow your business in a legally compliant and adherent manner. Thank you for watching this video, and good luck with the holiday season for your business. Thank you.